film essentially follows a young boy named Max, who was a lover of Christmas and upholder of its traditions. After becoming disillusioned by the holiday season, he incidentally brings about the wrath of Krampus upon his dysfunctional family. Attracting Krampus into their home with their mean-spiritedness, lack of Christmas cheer, their contempt for each other, and more specifically, Max's actions of going back on his wish for Santa to bring the family together again, the evil shadow of Saint Nicholas makes an abrupt appearance into their lives by terrorizing the family with the help of his twisted elves and minions. Unlike Sam, the physical manifestation for Halloween that was created by Michael Dougherty for Trick or Treat, Krampus is actually a monster found in Central European culture, often depicted as a half-goat, half-demon that punished misbehaving children around Christmas, while St. Nicholas rewarded those that were nice. The devilish companion of St. Nicholas is believed to have originated in Germany, with his name coming from the German word Krampen, which translates to claw. But the idea behind Krampus predates Christmas itself, and is thought to have been part of pagan rituals for the winter solstice, where the entity is described as being the son of Hel, the Norse god for the underworld. It wasn't until the rapid spread of Christianity throughout Europe that Krampus became associated with Christmas, despite the best efforts of the Catholic Church to ban him. Though in the film he makes his appearance a few days before Christmas, traditionally, the creature in St. Nicholas arrived on the evening of December the 5th, known as Krampusnacht, or Krampus Night in English. While St. Nicholas rewarded the good children with gifts, Krampus would beat those that were naughty with branches and sticks, and in extreme cases, eat them or take them back to hell with him. When it came to the next day, known as St. Nicholas Day, the children would awaken to open their gifts, nurse their wounds, or find themselves in hell. This particular notion is essential to note as it helps explain the ending to the movie. Given the wealth of history and culture surrounding the legend of Krampus, Michael Dougherty had no shortage of reference material and lore to utilize in this dark comedy. Much like his Halloween picture, which featured the central character Sam as the physical representation of the Halloween spirit, the Krampus we see in this film is the embodiment of the festive season's wrath.
The store, it's Roger.
I thought you said you weren't working over Christmas.
I said no traveling over Christmas. I still have to take a few calls.
The film follows the prosperous but splintered Angel family, led by Tom and Sarah, played by the hilarious Adam Scott and the talented Toni Collette, whose relationship was on the rocks. Their two children Max, MJ Anthony, and Beth, Stephanie Owen, as well as Tom's mother Omi, with a show-stealing performance from Krista Stadler as a loving Austrian grandmother that harbored a dark secret.
Na, bist du fertig damit?
I started, but I don't know what to ask for this year.
Ich glaube, dir wird noch was einfallen.
With the arrival of their extended family for Christmas, including their Uncle Howard, David Koshner, Auntie Linda, Alison Tolman, and their 4 children, their continuous infighting and lack of Christmas merriment invite the terrifying monster into their home. The only person that seems to care about the holiday season is Max, the well-meaning but troublesome child that resorted to drastic measures to keep the spirit of Christmas alive. I mean, this kid loves Christmas so much that he even starts a fight with a boy twice his size that had been telling young kids that Santa didn't exist and was merely a marketing ploy invented to sell Coca-Cola. Encouraged by his grandmother to write a letter to Santa and told that Santa was what we made of him, in a subtle warning of what was to come, we see Max writing a letter wishing for his entire family to be happy again. But after the message is read out loud by his cousins to embarrass him, Max loses his Christmas spirit and tells his family that he hated both them and Christmas itself, before running upstairs and tearing up his letter in a fit of rage. This in turn becomes a catalyst for the arrival of Krampus and his elves, who plunge the town in a blanket of sub-zero snow, before knocking out the power, radio, and telecommunications and invading the home. What follows is a hilarious and very PG-13 Christmas horror cautionary tale, with the family getting picked off by Krampus and his devilish minions. The genius of this film is that apart from a few subtle clues at the start from Omi, the first act was deliberately written like the beginning of a genuine Hallmark Christmas movie. We see this with the introduction of Christmas tropes like the dysfunctional family, the overworking dad that didn't have time for his kids, and the arrival of the extended family for Christmas. But as the plot unravels, we see indications that this movie was a perversion of the classic Christmas film, with the revelation that the mall Santa was a dick, the idea of dreaming of a white Christmas being inverted, along with the terrifying snowman being used to foreshadow impending danger.
Mom!
What, Max?
There's a snowman in our yard. See?
That's great, Max.
But who built it?
Kicking the story into motion, when the lights and power go out in the home and nearby residences, Max's sister Beth offers to go down the road to her boyfriend's place to see if his home had power. Though initially reluctant to let her go alone, her insistence that it was only down the street and that she would be right back leads to her parents letting her go. Unfortunately for Beth, along the way, she witnesses Krampus jumping from home to home before being attacked by one of his minions. Our introduction to Krampus is terrifying. Seen initially as a large distant figure before we see glimpses of his horns and his cloven hoofs, and mostly heard through the clever sound design, this build-up helped emphasize his stature until his big reveal towards the film's climax. When Beth fails to come back, Tom and Howard go looking for her and stumble on a snowplow in the street that had its windows caved in. Arriving at her boyfriend's place, they find the chimney had been destroyed from the inside and see large goat-like hoof prints in the house, indicating that something had come through the chimney and attacked the family. Howard is then bitten by the grotesque worm-like jack-in-the-box that had consumed Beth and suffers injuries to his leg, forcing them to retreat back to the house and board the place up. Their inability to leave the premises creates a heightened level of suspense and adds to their sense of hopelessness. While they all decide to fall asleep together in the living room, hoping that their numbers would keep them safe, Howie is soon lured away by a sinister gingerbread man that used a hook to drag him up through the chimney, despite the entire family banding together to save him. Hoping that she would finally get taken seriously, Omi explained that the family was under attack by Krampus, the demonic shadow of St. Nicholas that had taken her family to hell when they, along with the young Omi, had lost their Christmas spirit in the aftermath of World War II. While Omi showed them the bauble he had left her as a warning that he would come back again if she didn't remember her lesson, the majority of the family, with the exception of Max, don't initially believe her. That is until the sinister minions of Krampus that were hidden in the mysterious presents delivered to the family's front door by him early in the film erupted from their packaging and began attacking the entire family. Every single creature, from the demented jack-in-the-box that swallows Jordan, the gingerbread man that attacked Howard, to the grotesque Baron doll that tried to kill the parents, were the stuff of night. While the parents managed to incapacitate the twisted toys, the hideous elves of Krampus arrive and drag away Howard and his family. The big bad himself soon comes to finish the rest of the family off, prompting Omi to lock herself in the home and confront him, while the rest of them attempted to get to a snowplow Tom had seen early in the film. Tom sacrifices himself to allow the family to make it to the truck, but Sarah, Linda and Stevie are all taken away by the minions of Krampus, leaving Max on his own. Krampus then approaches Max and leaves him a bauble, wrapped in the torn pieces of the letter he discarded, much like the one he'd given his grandmother, leading the boy to realize that this was all his fault. But unlike Omi, who hid as the monster left her home, Max confronts the beast just as he was about to take his family away and throws the bauble back towards him, which sank in the snow and opened up a massive hole leading to the underworld. Max admits that it was his fault and offers to take the place of his family, stating that he wished for Christmas to be like it used to be, and while Krampus tricks him by wiping his tears away, he begins to cackle and laugh with the elves before throwing Max into the hole. The boy then wakes up in his room the next morning on Christmas Day and goes downstairs to find the entire family looking happy like they used to be in the past, just as he had wished. As they all start opening their presents, the grateful Max hugs his parents, believing his ordeal had only been a bad dream. However, when he finally opens his gift, he finds the bauble Krampus had given him, and we see the entire family with an ominous look on their face, indicating that they also remembered everything that had happened. The camera then pans out of the home, revealing that his family was in a snow globe, along with others that had gone through the same ordeal. This meant that they were either being watched through a lens by Krampus, or that they were now being held as prisoners in the underworld, forever doomed to repeat the happy Christmas Max had wished for. Given that the Krampus of European legend was known to drag people that had misbehaved down to hell as punishment, I think that Max's family had all been taken down to the underworld, even though they were beginning to function as a family that cared for one another towards the end of the film. We also know that Krampus only comes to take away, never to give, so it made more sense that despite the family's effort to sacrifice themselves for each other towards the end of the movie, it was too little too late.
Hit subscribe and click the notification icon to stay up to date on all my content, and if there's anything else you'd like to request, please don't hesitate to ask. As always, it's been a pleasure. Nihat here with Film and Comics Explained. Thanks for stopping by.